Good morning. Welcome to Card Club Live. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm totally late because I clicked on the Facebook group and the option to go live was not there. So yeah. Took a few clicks to figure this out. So welcome everybody to Card Club Live. So this is the video where I show you how to make the cards of the month. And so, let's see. I just want to get the video up and running here so I can see your comments and chat with you, because I love being live with you guys. It's so much fun. Let's see here. I gotta move my iPad here. Okay, so welcome. Good morning. It's a little discombobulating when you're used to doing something a certain way, and then you can't do it that way. So anyways, it's all just part of working on somebody else's platform. So, welcome. I made it. I'm here. How are you guys today? Are you guys crafting this weekend? Do you have any fun plans going on? I know most of the country is getting like this crazy heat wave. So I think it's supposed to be like 96 or something crazy here. So that's what we're in for this weekend. And yeah, we're getting ready for a craft show next weekend. So that is my husband Josh, he does laser engraved signs, and so he's doing some laser engraving today and prepping his signs. And so yeah, then we'll do some door dashing tonight, so it'll be fun. All right, I am going to put my camera down so that we can take a look at Card Club for this month. So this of course is the 8 card club by mail, and so you get the supplies for 8 cards. Let's see if I can fix my video. There we go. So you get supplies for 8 cards and plus a whole bunch of extra goodies. So you're always going to have more than you need to make your cards. And so, you know, in addition to the 8 cards, you can make a bunch more. So that's always helpful. I forgot to grab a kit, but let me just kind of explain what's in a typical card club kit. So there's generally half a pack of designer series paper. There's a coordinating embellishment, a ribbon. Last month I actually included 3 different ribbons in that kit. And then sometimes I also include like specialty paper or things that you're going to need to complete your cards. And then there's supplies for 8 cards, and that includes things like the embossed pieces that you need. I do that for you. I give you the die cuts that you need. The one thing I cannot give you is the stamped images. So that's something that you'll have to stamp your own images. But the good news is if you don't like the stamp set or you don't have it, you can substitute with other stamps. So even this set, even though it's turtles, you can actually do these cards with a lot of different options for finishing your cards. You can also fussy cut the paper to get the turtles, which you'll actually see I fussy cut a bunch of turtles instead of die cutting them. So there's options there. And then I know some of you have told me that you find the turtles creepy, which I think is kind of cute. They've really grown on me. I love them a lot. I'm maybe a little obsessed with the turtles, but all you have to do is substitute with something else. So I create designs where you could put flowers or another animal or, you know, stuff like that. And the paper has fronts and backs that are not just turtle, so that helps too. So this is what we're going to be using here today. So I'm just going to grab a couple of blocks here, and I think I'm using just about all of the words in this stamp set. So we'll just go ahead and I'll just take out all of the words because I think I've used them all in the different cards that we're going to make today. So I like to set my stamps on a surface like this. and then pick them up with my block, because sometimes if I go to do this, I might accidentally put it on a little bit crooked. You see here how that's crooked? So rather than rely on me to be able to visually put it on the block, I just let it sit and, you know, be straight like it wants to be. And that way I know I have nice straight words. Because I have definitely put it on the block and ended up with very crooked words. We don't want that. Okay, so I need one more block. There we go. All right. So we'll just set those over here. And now the first card, I have already done a sneak peek on one of my lives, so you may have seen it. So I'm going to show you this again, the first card. So for this one, we are going to, let me take these pieces out here. Oop, I need my insert. I'm going to stamp here with Garden Green. Oops, there we go. So, hope your birthday is turtly awesome. We'll put that here. And then sweet friend, we will put on our postage die cut. There we go. And then I can take both of those, and you know, I often like to start with my insert just because my desk is not generally very clean. And so if I can start by getting some pieces taped down and out of the way, they're less likely to get lost. So maybe some of you can appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna take our large white postage, and I'm going to tape a piece of designer series paper across the middle. And then I'll put that, oops, if I can pick it up. We'll put this on the front. There we go. Let me make sure. Okay, give me just a second. I can't see the video comments, so I'm gonna just reload my video here. It won't affect you here on live. I just like being able to talk with you guys. So there we go. Oh, so Vesta's crafting until family and puppies show up. How fun. Oh, I know, Kathy, it feels like it's hot all over the place. It's quite the week. It's a good weekend to stay indoors and craft. All right, I need my scissors. Always like to use these edge pieces here. So I'm kind of funny about my dimensionals. I use a row all the way around. Well, I haven't used this row yet. But I use a row all the way around, and then I use the edges, and then I use the middle. I don't know why. It's just the way that I started using dimensionals, and I haven't stopped. So we're just gonna stick these on here. And I know some people use their dimensionals from the middle of the sheet. I can't bring myself to like start right here in the middle. I have to start at a corner. Let's see here. There we go. I think that should be enough. So we've dimensionalized our two pieces. So I'm gonna do my turtle first. And then we'll add the sentiment piece as well. So for this one, I went with the bird watching turtle. On my sample, it was the beekeeper turtle. And then I'm gonna put this right next to the turtle. And then last but not least, I need to grab my hexagons. This is the embellishment that you're getting in the kit this month, is these shades of green hexagons. So I'll just pull a couple of those out of there. We'll leave those sit here since we'll use them on all the cards. You know, try to use up a whole sheet, but sometimes you have favorite colors, and so you end up using them in uneven ways, right? Okay. So here we have our sweet friend, birthday turtle card. So of course you get this, oh, and I was going to show you, here I have the beekeeper turtle. So, you get supplies to make 2 of each of these. So, you'll have options to mix and match with your turtles. So, the next one we're going to make is a musical turtle. And I really like these postage dies. They work really well with any card. So I was very pleased to see that they had carried over, so that they're still around, you know. All right, I'm going to use Poppy Parade for this card, and we will do Here For You Always. And then I'll do It's Okay to Take It Slow. And instead of keeping this as a typical square, I'm going to turn it and make it a diamond. And there we go. So I'm going to grab a drink here. Okay. All right. So then we'll use our Granny Apple Green card base here. And we'll put our insert here on the inside. Now you might notice I've been using 3 3/4 by 5 for the insert. That is my preferred size for inserts. 2 reasons. One, I like the thicker border here. I like seeing more of the color of the base. But then also, if I decide that I want to add a second layer underneath it, it's already the right size for it. So I don't have to cut it down even further. So I could easily add, like, maybe say a Poppy Parade 4 by 5 1/4 right underneath my white. So it just keeps it simple for me. And I have my inserts cut by a local copy shop. Is that the right word? A printer? It's called Copyworks. And I take multiple packages of white paper over to them, and I have them cut it down to the 3 3/4 by 5, just because I go through a lot of card inserts. So, all right. I'm sorry if I just have a frog in my throat this morning. Okay, so I just have a tiny strip of the designer series paper, and it's just stripes. There's just various shades of green stripes. It's actually my favorite pattern from the paper because, well, green's my favorite color. So having a design like this that just has lots of shades of green, well, it makes my heart happy to have so much green. All right, we're going to dimensionalize these pieces so that we can pop them up on our card. Use up those edge pieces here. Let's see here. I need to get a dimensional on his head. There we go. Maybe one more in the middle. I do extra dimensionals when it comes to designer series paper because it's not quite as stiff as cardstock. And so I really want my die cut, or in this case a fussy cut, to stay balanced. I don't want it to dip in the middle. So that's why I I tend to use a lot of dimensionals when it comes to designer series paper. I'm not saying you have to, it's just personal preference really. So what I was doing was I was creating this to be kind of like a little stage for my musician to stand on and announcing for my friend that it's okay to take it slow. So we'll just crease this down right here. And then we'll use some of these hexagons and let's see here, we'll use this color. There we go. Just put a little bit of bling there because it's okay to take it slow. Here for you always. And on the first one, I did it flip-flopped. So the musician is on the left and playing the, what would that be, the accordion, I guess. All right, so let's move on to doing, I got 2 fun folds for you for our last 2 cards. And we're gonna put this here. So this one here, we've got our turtle riding a bicycle. It says, hooray, hope your birthday is totally awesome. So I'll show it to you here from the top. So we're gonna make this card. Okay, so I'll start with, since I've been starting with stamping, I'll just keep that up. And I do need another stamp out of here. So we're gonna take that one as well. And it's kind of a big block, but it'll work. All right, I'm gonna do Flirty Flamingo ink for this card. And I need to clean my birthday stamp off because I know I used that on another color. Okay. All right, so we'll put our birthday stamp on our card insert. And then we'll put hooray. Actually, I'll do the flower first. So we'll put the flower here on the edge of my die cut. And then I'll put hooray next to it. Stamp it right side up. There we go. All right. And I went with the flower because my turtle has a basket of flowers on the front of its bike. So that is why. So I'm going to grab my trimmer here and we're going to score it. We'll score it here at 4 1/4 and then also at 2 1/8. There we go. Okay, so on the inside of my card, get my insert put on here. There we go. Now this one is 4 by 5 1/4 because I wanted it to be seen outside of my postage die cut, as you're about to see in just a second. So I folded my card in half and then I'm just folding the front flat back on itself. And then we can add our designer series paper strip first. Now, I don't think I've said yet, but if you are a Card Club member, you also get PDF instructions sent to you, and it has all of the supplies and measurements that you need. So that's why I don't always say them all here, because you already have those instructions in your inbox. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it this way. So what I like to do when I'm trying to figure out where to tape something down, I'm gonna set this on my card. And now I can see exactly where my tape needs to be over here so that I don't tape down this part of my die cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up here so I can see where I might want tape. Just like that. And then I can turn it over. And I know that my tape should be safely in the right spot. But I'll always double check to make sure I don't have excess tape here. Okay. So next we're going to dimensionalize our pieces and lay out the front of our card. Okay. So we'll get, this is a big fussy cut piece. So we'll just, now one thing you'll want to know with Card Club, I do not cut your designer series paper for you. And the reason for that is I want you to be able to mix and match your patterns. A lot of times there's multiple patterns in a pack that will match with the card I've designed. And so if you don't want to make two of the exact same, you can mix and match your designer series paper. And in the case of this paper pack, if you're not wanting to use the turtle side, it leaves you free to use the pattern side instead. Okay, so I'm going to start with my words down here at the bottom. And then we're going to add our bicycle turtle. Oh, and I've put a dimensional in the wrong spot. I'll just stick that back on my sheet. I'm just going to add a little tape here to the bottom because the bottom of the wheel is going to overlap. And so right here where my finger is, I don't want a dimensional, but I forgot I put a dimensional down here. So we just took that back off and added some tape instead. Okay. So let's see here. We'll go with this color. And we'll stick one there. And then I'll do a big one over here. So there's two different sizes. So I've done a big and a small and then a big one over here. So there we go. So hope your birthday is totally awesome. So there is a fun fold for you. And then we have one more fun fold. Take these pieces out. And this one here opens like this. Okay, so you'll see here my card base. So it does open like a regular card. You could also choose to tape this flap down. Maybe I'll do that for this sample card. But we're gonna make this card. Okay, so I need, let's see, I need this guy. And we're going to take our insert and our little die cut. And I'll just put the turtle on the back of the same block as another stamp. Okay, so we're going to say it's okay to take it slow. There we go. And then, oh, I need my garden green. I'm going to put my turtle on his back on the inside of the card. And then we'll also stamp here for you always. And I don't remember what color I used this for. Oh, we're good. It was previously Poppy Parade. So I just tested it on the back because once it's taped into my card, nobody will ever know. All right. So we've got those. So let me actually set those aside because we're going to need to do our card base. So I'm going to score my base at 4 1/4. And then just set this right here. I'm just gonna take my base, here I'll fold it in half, and I'm just going to fold it back on itself. Just like so. Okay, so we've got our fun flap here. Okay, oh, and let me also crease this down. All right, so we will start with a little strip, and I love this striped pattern that's on the back. There's also kind of a dotted pattern on the back of one of the turtle sheets. It's really cute too. Okay, so we're gonna stick that at the bottom of our card. Now, I did say with this one, I would tape this flap down. We'll just show you different ways that you can do this card. Okay? All right, and we'll go ahead and put our insert inside the card here. Oop. There we go. Cute little turtle there on the inside. Now we're not worried about the fact that we can see him right here because he's gonna get covered up by the outside. So it's gonna end up being totally fine. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another postage die. I included a bunch of different colors of these in your kits. So it was fun to use a bunch of the die, different sizes and different colors. So I'm just gonna put a piece of the striped designer series paper in the middle here. And then I can take that to put it on the front of my card. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, oh, got a little booger there. Not a literal booger. Let's not say that. Okay, so I need to put tape here, but I also want to make sure I don't put tape up here. So what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna set it where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna pick it up with my fingers right here. So that's where my fingers are, is where I do not want tape. So that's just a general reference point so that I remember where not to put tape. And then I can put my die cut back on the front of my card. And I'll double check, but I don't have any tape in the wrong spot. Okay, so we're gonna take our tag and we're gonna take our spa turtle and we're gonna dimensionalize, oops, got that dimensional that we'll just use that dimensional that I took off the previous card. Okay, so I can pick up these dimensionals. So we're just gonna dimensionalize our spa turtle and our sentiment tag. And I don't know if that's gonna fit. No, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one. I could grab my mini dimensionals, but sometimes it's just quicker to cut one of the regular ones so that I can get it over the hand of the turtle. And I think, just to be safe, you know, the dimensional that's up here at the top is the one that came off of the last card. So just in case it lost any of its sticky, I'm just gonna put the other half right there, just to be safe. All right, so we'll just cover over that little spot that's on my designer series paper. And we will put our spa turtle right there. And then we're gonna add some little bling here. So I'll add a big one and a small one, and I'll do another big one over here. So we've got our cute little fun fold turtle. And then on the first one, I just left the flap here, okay? I didn't adhere it initially. So same card, just a little bit different perspective, if you will, because I don't have it popped up. So we've got these two, we've got this fun fold, and then we've got a couple of more here. So these are the 8 cards that you're going to make in your card club kits. So these have been super popular. So I think I have one left. So feel free to message me if you're interested in the extra kit that I have. Otherwise, when they're gone, they're gone. And then you can tune in next month. We're going to be doing the Kintsugi Designer Series paper and the Inspiring Imperfections stamp set. So that will be the July kit. So, all right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and whatever you do today, don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.